Hi, so welcome back to First Project with Lattice FPGA. This is the final video in the series, and this is about hardware implementation. So what I have is my Lattice icestick plugged into my computer here. I already have it programmed as what we did last time. You'll notice that with mine I have some of the LEDs on actually. I believe I mentioned that in the last video where I possibly shorted some of these while programming because I didn't really know what I was doing. It could also be a defective board. I'm talking to Lattice right now. I highly doubt it's a defective board. I think I just screwed something up. But anyways, it works fine, so just ignore those for the video. But what I have set up here is I have some pull-down resistors. And what those are doing is those are attached to the negative rail, the little blue rail. And that is attached by this wire right here. If you go right here, see it's attached to the ground. Okay, so that means those pull down resistors are pulling these two inputs, 44 and 45. I know they're upside down, but it's pulling those down to ground. That's important because if I didn't have those, you can experiment with yourself, but you can just touch the 44 and 45 inputs and the LED will actually turn on. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to attach the positive power rail up here. That's attached to this wire. And I'm going to attach that into the 3.3 volt port. Okay, great. Now what we have is we have 3.3 volts on the positive rail and ground on the negative rail with pull-down resistors. So since this is an AND gate, we're going to have two inputs. I'm going to use these two green wires for it. So I'm going to put those in the positive rail, right, because we want those to be high. And if we touch one to one input, remember we're lighting up the green LED, nothing happens. If we touch it to the other input, nothing happens. And that's just exactly what we would say with an AND gate, is that both inputs have to be high in order for the light to be green. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to attempt to do this with one hand. I'm going to touch both inputs, so pulling them both high. You see, and now the light, there you go, now the light is green. So they're both low, 0 ANDed with 0 is 0. Now they're both high, 1 ANDed with 1 is high, and it's green. So, woohoo, that's how you do it. And you could probably rig up a little bit better way to do this. I had to do this a little funny because I'm holding my camera with one hand and doing all the circuit and implementation with my other hand. But I don't know, it's kind of rewarding to see that light green blink green, and that's what we actually did with the FPGA. So just pretty neat. So thank you so much for checking out this tutorial video. One thing that I want to mention is that you can actually solder headers down here, or little pins, output pins if you want to, or input, whatever, those female and male thingamajiggers, but I haven't done that yet. So yeah, this is overall an amazing board for the price. The tools are free. You can use open source tools like I mentioned if you're running Linux. I'm running Windows, so I just use the Lattice tools, but yeah, it's really kept me going for these first couple projects. So thanks for checking this out. Bye.